floppy, and then she would come back and then it would drop again and her eyes would like roll back. I was diagnosed on Friday with epilepsy, Sunday with infantile spasms, and then Thursday with tuberous sclerosis complex. I need a hug. I need a hug.
It's so unfair, and it's getting addressed at the moment with the proper counsel. I can't speak too much. I will get my lawyer to contact you, Bailey. I do really appreciate the call back.
Did you harm your daughter?
No, I can't talk to you, Bailey. That's why I've talked to you. I've said this is a matter that cannot be...
Tonight in a 9 News exclusive, the Queensland mother and influencer at the centre of horrific allegations of harming her 1-year-old child has broken her silence. Child protection detectives have launched a major investigation after the little girl was hospitalised.
Can you say... Mummy?
She shared her family's life with the world, gaining a mass following online. She is, in every word, an influencer.
Hi.
But tonight she's facing serious allegations that she drugged her daughter, leaving her in intensive care. Queensland Police launching a major investigation.
Speaking.
It's Bailey from 9 News here. How are you?
Oh, good, thank you. How are you?
Good. I was just hoping to ask a couple of questions. Tonight, this is the first time we've heard from her since the allegations came to light.
It is so unfair, and it's getting addressed at the moment with the proper counsel.
Is that why you've shut the post down and everything as well? Is that why you've deleted the post?
I can't speak too much. I will get my lawyer to contact you, Bailey. I do really appreciate the call back.
She says she's now sought legal representation. Did you harm your daughter?
No, I can't talk to you, Bailey. That's why I've talked to you. I've said this is a matter that cannot be spoken on.
While investigations are underway, the baby has been removed from her care.
The child's in safe hands at the moment with authorities.
This case is now in the hands of the Morningside Child Protection and Investigation Unit. It's likely that dozens of family, friends and medical professionals will need to be spoken to before the whole story comes to light.
It is protracted and complicated, and it will take a bit of time, but I can assure you the child is safe whilst that investigation is undergoing.
And as part of that investigation, the online fundraising platform GoFundMe is working with police. More than $60,000 was raised for the family when the little girl was first hospitalised. Those funds have now been frozen.
Horrific allegations, but police need to be able to do their investigation free from anything that I say.
Tonight, no arrests have been made and no charges have been laid. Bailey Kenzie, 9 News.
So first and foremost, I want to say thank you to my 3 sources who helped me get this information absolutely correct, that are close to the Harris family or a part of the Harris family. I am devastated to hear of this. I talked about this 2 nights ago when this story broke. The baby was taken to the hospital, and I got confirmation from somebody that the hospital staff did confirm to a family member that the baby went from being not very well to she was doing much better, like from intensive care type status to a day later being able to eat, drink, sit up, alert, thriving. And I don't know if it is said that the baby had been giving barbiturates and other prescription medication. That's what it is. And so maybe they got those out of her system and she came to, but unfortunately this baby had 2 unnecessary exploratory brain surgeries. And people like to say that doctors would never do anything like that, but they did. And they did it twice. They ignored test results and took a mother's word that she's having seizures and that her brain is riddled with tumors. You see in the one video I showed you. She says this day she's diagnosed with this, the second day she's diagnosed with that, the third day she's diagnosed with this. I even show you in my other video where she says her brain is riddled with tumors, and in the same breath she goes on to ask people or insinuate to people that she needs to be gifted a new coffee maker. And in this video she's saying like how she needs a hug. This is where they say it doesn't matter if it's medical abuse, medical child abuse, Munchausen, Munchausen by proxy, Munchausen by internet. With the social media aspect, this is why survivor stories are so important. And this is why getting them right, if you're covering them, is so important, and why them being shared is so important, because this is not just an international problem. Western and modern medicine and social media and all of this is now going to be a global problem. And there's going to be cases in other countries, of course, that are going to pop up. But how are doctors, family, friends, social services, how are they going to see the signs, the symptoms, to be able to intervene and stop and save a child's life before it's too late? If people don't share their stories that bring advocacy and awareness to what this looks like. Because everybody's story is so completely, like, one person's can be so completely different than the next. And that's where I think it's really important for people to share their stories. Because people need to know what to look for. Doctors need to know what to look for. And that could be the small little deciding factor that made doctors or nursing staff say, okay, something's not right here. After having done 2 unnecessary exploratory brain surgeries on a baby, there's no explanation for this. They should have done that prior to. But the whole fact is, if the mother really was doing this, she deserves to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. However, I also want to mention that I've had a couple of people and sources in Australia, they are urging people to sign a petition called the Daisies Rule. They want to make it mandatory to do drug testing in pediatrics, and I think that's a fantastic idea. So if anybody wants to look into that, I highly suggest you do. And if you can, go sign that. I'll get the website and I'll show you the screenshot right now. Because petitions like this and actually pushing for real change to prevent it from happening more, to prevent this type of thing from happening for so long again, so it can be caught if it ever does happen again, to deter this type of stuff. This right here is exactly why survivor stories are so important. Not only that, but this Harris family lost a baby girl 4 years prior, and her autopsy came back as inconclusive. And I really hope authorities are investigating that as well, because that's very suspicious that she was a female, and now this baby in the same family that is suffering this horrendous medical abuse, that she is also female. I'm starting to see an odd pattern here. But if you want to, go look into this petition and consider signing it, please, because this is where we as a society, we as a world, we as a species, we can come together and we can help push for change, push for positive, proactive change. And this right here is why survivor stories are so important. This right here. Because those people can speak to real change like this. Not just here in the United States, in Australia. We have the ability to be able to say more has to be done. When somebody is deciding that they are going to take the limb of a child, or they are going to surgically open up the head of a child, not once but twice, that is so completely unnecessary. And to ignore test results and take a parent or a guardian or a caregiver's word, that's horrendous. But thank you to my sources that are close to this for helping me from the very moment get this correct, because I really do not want to mess up any of this information. And I really appreciate all of the help and all of the material that I have been sent. And I pray for the Harris family, and I hope you do too. And I really pray that the baby is doing well. It is said that she's doing well and that she was released from the hospital. But I'm telling you now, if the father and the best friends and the family had no idea that this mother was doing that, that is how sneaky these medical abusers operate. Just let that sink in.